Today is all about squares. They are granny squares out of a card deck. So if that sounds like something that you would like to hang around for, come on. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm glad you're here today. Whether you are new or you're a returning viewer, thank you for the time that you've taken out of your day to spend some of that with me. In my last video, I said that I was probably going to record that video and this video at in the same day, and that was my plan. Can't remember now what happened. I know that it got really hot in here, so I had to turn my AC on. And the biggest mistake with me, I don't know if it is with y'all, when you're starting something, the motivation is there, so you get it done, and you know you're in it. And that was me the other day. And I'll talk about that a little bit more, but needless to say, I'm recording this the day before it's uploading, so technically today is my birthday. And I'm recording this first thing in the morning because my family's coming over, and my boys and my grandson, my daughter-in-law, me and my husband, we're going to play games. We're going to my husband's going to grill on the grill, and it's just going to be a very nice family day for my birthday, which usually Sundays are family day, but it's a good way to incorporate both of them. Okay, now the granny squares that I'm going to show you today came out of this granny square card deck. You can get this on Amazon. I will link it below. No, I do not have any affiliation with Amazon. I don't have a storefront. I don't have any of that, y'all. And this was a gift. This was a gift from Meredith. So, but the funny thing is I was actually going to buy this myself. Now, Brandy, I think you said you had 3 of these. I didn't know that there were that many options, okay, of the different kinds of decks. These are by, I know her name. Not her name, but it's it's Claire. See, I thought it was Montgomery. It is Montgomery, but it's spelled differently. That's what was hanging me up, because I'm like, there's something unique about her name. Now, there are fake copies of this deck floating around Amazon, so make sure that you get the one that is by searchpress.com. That is the real one. I have seen that there has been some problems with the fake ones being to where the font is unreadable. It's so teeny tiny that you can't read it. Now, I'm saying this about this deck in all honesty, not because at first I didn't want to, because it was a gift. But you know, with everything that you buy, there's pros and cons. But the fact that I was going to buy this myself to review for y'all makes me want to say, okay, this is where rubber meets the road, so to speak. You will get my utmost upfront honesty about this deck. I don't know that I would buy any more of these. If there are 3 other options, I would look long and hard on the reviews before I bought it. I have enjoyed the 6. I swore I did 6 of these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Well, there is 6. I did 6. I just don't know where the 6th one is, because it's been a few days since I've done them. And in those in those few days, it's been crazy. Okay. So, I'm going to show you the front of the picture. I'm trying to remember what the copyright said I couldn't show you. It said I could not show you the instructions on the back, but I can show you the picture because there's pictures, there's examples all over the place of these. First, I'm going to show you the picture, and I don't have to put it on the screen because I have it here. Alright, this one is called a popcorn daisy. Make sure I have it in the screen here. I have to look at my TV reflection behind you. I like this one. I did not use... Okay, so full disclaimer, all of these are using my donation, the stuff I bought at Dollar Tree for donation blankets, in the green pea... What was the orange? Papaya? Maybe? And the off-white. This is how it turned out. And the funny thing is, it's almost reversible. Almost. That's the back. And that's the front. So, almost reversible. And the petals on this, now this one right here, I wish I could show y'all this is not for written instructions. If you are not good at following charts, this is not the deck for you. This is a chart deck, and I wish that they would show that more. Now, it does use the popcorn stitch, and in the booklet, it does tell you how to do a popcorn stitch. So it covers you there. But I mean, a lot of a lot of granny squares don't require written out instructions. If you know a basic granny square, or if you know basic stitches, even if you don't know, like you don't know the popcorn stitch, the book tells you. And we all have YouTube, so there's not like you couldn't find how to do it. You see, they have a little booklet here on how to do things. Special stitches. It's got the puff stitch, the popcorn stitch, the 2 DC cluster, 3 DC cluster, which basically... Oh, okay, so they're called... Okay. Why do people have to have different names for everything? That's just a pet peeve of mine, but... Okay. So that was number 1. That was Popcorn Daisy. This design, you can find on the internet. None of these, in fact, none of these, I'm sure, they're online. So it's really relatively easy to find them. Granted, I said when I started using, when I told y'all it was my intentions when I did finally start using this deck, to find the online version, the free online version. And if I wasn't recording this on my birthday, I probably would have gotten that for you. That's not to say that I won't do that if I do any more of these on the channel. We'll get more on that later. Alright, this one right here, of all things. No, this is not with Red Heart, but this one is called Flower Power. Okay. I do like the colors that they use in this example. Now, this one also uses the puff stitch. Okay, nope. This one uses the popcorn stitch for the white petals. And they're saying the puff stitch what are they calling the puff stitch? Hold on. 1 second. says see page 12, so I'm going to see page 12 because I don't remember having to see a special instruction. Oh, those two. Okay, so there is 4 stitches on here that is considered a puff stitch, but they're so camouflaged in it that you really can't tell. Let me see if you can tell on the picture. No, not really. It's the ones in the middle, on the sides, and on the top. It's the very middle stitch of all sides. So, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't use a puff stitch. But apparently, by their standards, I did. I liked this one. But much like, there was another design that I did. And it had these holes in it. But the pictures didn't. See, I don't see, yes, I do see some holes. But you don't see as much as you do in my example. In my example, I'm going to put my hand, actually I'm going to put something white behind it. So that you can see just how much there is to see. Make sure I got that in screen. So I don't know. I don't know if my tension was too tight, the use of the yarn. I really don't know. But I do wish I'd used this colorway though. I don't mind mine. And by me using these 3 colors, this will be a donation blanket. So when I put all these squares together, it'll be nice. You know, these squares plus all the other squares I've shown y'all up until today. I apologize. Grab me some caffeine. I'm so thirsty this morning, I can't help myself. Okay. We're in a flower theme, apparently. This one is called Poppy. Not too crazy about the color choices they made on that square on the card. I mean, yes, purple and yellow do work together, but this purple and yellow, the tones work better. Sorry about that. Better than that one. But this was super fun for me to make. Look at this. How pretty is that? And I'm not saying everybody's like me, but I think there's enough of us that feel when we see something, we can pretty much recreate it. And that's a large part why I don't have a lot of pattern books. I don't have a lot of, I don't buy a lot of crochet patterns, because pretty much if I see an image of it, I can pretty well recreate something like this. Garments, I used to be able to do that. This year I'm really struggling with making garments with previous knowledge. But I am loving this. I'm loving it. And they're calling this one the Poppy. And there is one special stitch, and that's this treble right there. That's the only special stitch of this group. Pardon me. Okay. My next two I did because I'm trying to remember, and this is a memory problem. Please forgive me. It's not because you don't mean anything to me. I do not remember who said this to me. But it was talking about, you were talking about making like a quilt style blanket with granny squares. And both of these could do that. The reason I say both of these is because they're basically the same design. One just uses granny clusters, which is a 3 double crochet in the same stitch, you know, a granny cluster. The other is using a solid granny type format to where it's all DC double crochets in the top of the previous double crochets. Okay. This one right here, they're calling half and half, and this is the one with the granny clusters. And I did my version, which my version is a little oddball, but that's okay. Now, before I go to join all these, I will block them using my new little block that I got. But for this purposes today, I did not use that. Okay. This is fairly simple. I thought, I mean, I have done, actually, hold on one second. Remember I was saying I can pretty much do something by sight? I think it was a couple years ago that I had seen something like this and I had recreated it. It does a couple different things. This is a solid color and it's the granny cluster. This is the solid granny, but two colors. There was a image, I want to say it was a couple years ago, but memory again. But I had it in my mind for the longest time, and I want to say probably about a year ago is when I did this. I think I showed y'all on the channel here that when I had done this. But it's very similar to this. And there's so many variations. Now, if you can do this right here, you can pretty much make a quilt style blanket in crochet. It's not that hard. Yes, there are patterns out there that you can buy and pay for. You don't need all that. And I'm not trying to down those designers. But if you make, okay, the way I do things is I use graph paper, or I just take my steno pad. Actually, let me show you an example. My daughter-in-law and I were, she's wanting to make curtains for her house. She's just now getting into sewing, and this is left panel, right panel, and middle panel, if y'all are trying to see. So if I don't have graph paper on hand, I will make my own graph, and I will color it in the way I want it. Pretty much the same way with this. If you want to make a quilt style, or you can grab any picture of a quilt that you like and draw it out like that, and know how many squares you need and what colors you need where. Really, really easy. And it got me to thinking I might do that. Y'all know I love to make my quilts, and my great nephew's quilt is still sitting right here beside me. I want to get started on that a little bit after I finish filming this video, before my family gets here, because I would love to get my side. Well, since it's 48 by 48, it's kind of either way. Oh, I didn't even show y'all. I don't even think I showed y'all the embroidery my daughter-in-law did on it. I will show you that another day. Now, that was my granny stitch one. This is my solid. Now they're calling this half and half solid. All right, so this is half and half, and then half and half solid. All right. Ooh, fly away. Now I did this one. I did the half and half granny stitch in the off-white and the papaya, and then I did the solid and off-white, and green pea. And you know, if you wanted to, you know how with quilts, a lot of the colors, a lot of the different squares some have solid colors, some have colors with designs on them. You could pair these two with a dab, 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 dab. You could pair these two squares and make your quilt that way. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk about the way they do these squares. The way I know how to do these things are way different. See, and the funny thing is I tried their way. Didn't like it. On this one. For one, they use, they do the beginning of their row in the middle, and you can see it. I mean, I can see it. I like to go to the end. I like to go to my corners. My starting row in almost every one of my squares, any granny square that I do, I go to my corner. And once you establish it into that corner start, you don't have to worry about seeing that line down the middle of your square. And if anybody needs any help with that, just reach out. I don't mind. There are YouTube videos out the wazoo for that. And I know you're asking, why wouldn't I show you? Again, I have said this in the past. There are bigger and better teachers than me. And you know, this one right here, when I said about mixing it up for a quilt, that would be not necessarily those colors. Yes, you could mix your colors up like that, but you could literally do this style in the same color. You could use like a white here and a black here, or white here, a cream here, or whatever your other color is. You don't have to do, but you can literally do a solid on one half and a granny cluster on the other half to add extra dimension to your blanket. All right. The other thing that I have to say about this, and I did see this in the reviews, and that's why I was holding off pulling the trigger on buying this, because I had it in my cart, is there's a lot of duplicate squares in here. Just different color combinations. And on the whole, that's not bad. Okay? And it's so funny because I see some on here. That's pretty much the block stitch with a flower center. This one right here is a 4-way color change. That looks like a miter square. So, you know, it won't hurt you if you buy it. I don't know if you'll use it, especially if you're someone like me that will do that. That will look at a pattern like this, pull it out of the recesses of your brain, and decide one day to sit down and do it. Now, I have since seen this pop up. I think it was like maybe a month ago. No, it was sooner than that. It's been since we've been back from our trip, and we got back from the mountains on May 24th, and today is, oh, I'm sitting here looking at the calendar. Today is June 28th, so it's been in the last month that I have seen this pop up on my Facebook, you know, on the different little ads and stuff. I think somebody made a pattern of it, But I mean, why would you make a pattern of that? That's just, I don't know. I guess for those that can't just, and that's not me being condescending. Please do not think that, y'all. I'm not. That's not who I am. And if y'all been here for any length of time, you know that's not me. There's plenty of things I cannot do. Good Lord, there's plenty of things I cannot do. But you're also talking to a girl who started knitting and crocheting before YouTube ever came. Google was not even invented when I started this. But a lot of times it's more of knowing what stitches are going to be needed and being able to implement them. That's all that is. Okay. I don't remember what I told y'all that I would tell you, that we would talk about later. I really, it's gone. Poof. Poof. I guess I could stop the video and see. But we're just going to go and we're going to fly with it. If I don't remember it, I must have not had a burning need to talk about it. But my brain just completely blanked on me. That, I think, will be the last of these squares that I do. Next week, now I know we got off track. Normally these videos have been on Fridays. And I'm still running a test on trying to keep my weeks scheduled, formatted, so to speak, to where I try to do the same kind of thing every week. That's not always easy, y'all. I'm going to tell you straight up. Because usually Mondays are, for yarns or fabric that I've gotten. And this time, Friday's video was that because of the birthday surprises that I got. So that's why this is shifting to Monday. Hopefully this week we'll get back in the groove. Friday will not be, it will be squares, but I think I'm going to do those animal squares out of that pattern book. I did enjoy doing these. It was super fast. Okay, I can say that. I did have this one up next, and it's on the cover, so I'm not ashamed to show y'all. Even if it was a copyright thing, it's literally on the front of their thing. It's so funny. The two I said, actually, hold on one second. It's that one right there. This is called a 3D flower. And we had talked about me maybe doing some 3D patterns, which will be coming up. But then this one right here is a little bit different. See that one? This is done a little different. This is done through the corner. The color change is on the corner, and this is through just the sides. Now, I'm not really sure how they do that. Okay, let's see. Well, I can't tell y'all since it's part of the copyright thing. But I was gonna do this one. I don't know where the sixth one is that I did. This was I was gonna do, but it got knocked out of place by the one that I can't find. And it was cute. I think it would look really cute because my plan was to do the orange in the center, the green in the background, and then the papaya on the petals on the raised portion where they have pink, and then white Okay. So the round right here would have been white, and then I would have switched to green for that outside row. There was a reason I chose the other square over that one, and I can't think of what it was at the moment, but it is what it is. But I do want to do those animal squares next. So I will probably, the next few, I will probably sprinkle that in on Fridays. All right. I think I was talking about the plans for today for my birthday. So this is the chitty chatty part. So if you have came just for the crochet part, thank you. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I do not have a project to work on while I'm chit chatting. But probably because I knew I was going to get started on the quilt. But as I said, probably back in April, May and June are stinking crazy about how many celebrations we have. Last year and this year, it was even more so with my two nieces graduating 1 year, and then last year and then this year. Because we had two different graduations because my nieces are the bomb. Actually, all my nieces are the bomb. I have 3 nieces. And one is the same age as my boys. Actually, she's 3.5 months older than my boys. But she's, but I was talking about the 2 younger ones. They did dual enrollment in high schools to where they went to the tech, the local tech college, and they got their associates and their high school diploma a month apart. Last year for my older niece, and then this year for the younger niece. Yeah, they're only a year apart. But, so when my family asked me, since May and June are so crazy in celebrations, and we had additional 2 last year and this year, because we had my niece's tech college associate's degree graduation, and then we had her high school graduation. Then we had Mother's Day, we had my grandson's birthday. Now it will be my great nephew's birthday, because he was born 2 days before my grandson's birthday. But they're not local, so it's not like that's going to be a local celebration. But so right now, this year it was the associate degree graduation, the high school graduation for my niece. Then it was my grandson's then it was Mother's Day, then my grandson's my grandson's birthday, and that trip. Then my husband's birthday. Then we roll into June, and we have my anniversary. Then we have Father's Day. Then we have my birthday. So that's 9 celebrations in a 2-month span. So usually on people's birthdays, we ask them, and this is a tradition that my in-laws have done since I've known my husband. 35 years. Actually, yeah. Wow. December will be 35 years me and my husband's been together. 34 years and 9 months that we've been living together. We've only been married 30 years as of this month. Well, we just celebrated our 30-year anniversary, our married anniversary. But we've been, I say our anniversary because I specified marriage anniversary because our other anniversary, we lived together 4.5 years before we got married. Yes, I know. I know. That was a big to-do. I have another stray hanging around. It's beautiful. It's like a pale orange spots with a cream base. I can't tell if it's a girl or a boy. And I don't have any cat food out there right now. Hi, kitty kitty. So Bob, my old one, I will get back to my celebration thing in a second. Bob, my old hangout guy, we haven't seen him since the last freeze. But he was an unaltered male, so he was a tomcat. This one is not a tom, or it is a neutered male, because it has a very small head. It does not have that big, fat, thick tom head. Hold on 1 minute. I'm going to stop the video so that I can go give it some food, and then we'll pick this back up. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I know that was like the ultimate squirrel moment. And I hate it because by the time I got out there, it was laying in the grass just relaxing. And when it seen me, it ran off. It's feral, okay? Or it has been dropped off long enough to get scared of humans out here, or just overall scared. I don't know. But anyway. The thing is, now I can go back to my pre-kitty cat moment. But y'all know me and kitty cats, squirrels, critters of any kind, whether it's out there or in here. Anyway, so back in the day, my in-laws, we went, well, even now, we go out to eat for people's birthday. Back then, it was really small. It was my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, who was 11 when I met my husband. For those of you who don't know, I was 18, my husband was 19. And so it was mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, me, and my husband. 5 people. Now that encompasses, my mother-in-law's gone. She passed away in, I want to say 08. No, 06. 2000, no. Yeah, it was 2006. But anyway, it now includes my 6, which is me, my husband, both my sons, my daughter-in-law, and my grandson. Plus my brother-in-law's, him and his 2. Now, his wife passed away a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago. But yeah, I mean, the girls are 17 and 18. And she passed away when they were ages 3 and 4. She had a complication from tonsil surgery, of all things. But, so, and then now his girlfriend with her 3, and her 2, so they are 7. So us and them, that's 13 already. Then my father-in-law and his girlfriend. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? So getting together with them, going out to eat, is not as fun as you would think. Most of the time, I make do, and you know, it's when it's that big of a party, it's very hard to get good food, because the chefs always try to get the food all out at the same time, and that's just, yeah. And I'm saying all that because my husband and my sons are like, where do you want to go to eat? And this has been a thing that I have said the last few years to my husband. It's like, by the time my birthday gets around, we've been to all the restaurants that we have locally. So it's not like I'm craving anything in particular because we've hit all the good places, right? And some of the not so good places. Because when it's not your celebration, it's not your choice. But it's kind of like when right now, today, I don't want to go out. Last year, I said, I'm going to start this new tradition to where when it finally gets around to my birthday, we're going to try something new. We're going to go to a place. It used to be that me, my husband, my sons, and when my grandson and my daughter-in-law came into the picture, they were included. But it used to be that we did our own celebration and then we celebrated with the in-laws, right? This past year, it's kind of been like a conglomerate, and I didn't want to do that. Every celebration that we've done has been with them. So I just wanted to relax and hang out with my immediate, my core group, my 6. And that sounds selfish to some people, but, you know, hey, it's my birthday, right? I am 53 years old. If I cannot enjoy my day with my family doing something I want to do, then what's the point, right? And I did tell my husband, you know, look, tell your dad and your brother, we will get with them. Maybe next week or something. It's just today I'm not feeling it. Or I'm not feeling it for this celebration, which is today. But I said this the other day. So we are going to grill, and when I say play games, the one thing my younger twin bought a card game called Flip 7, and that's really fun. And my grandson, he picked it up immediately, so we have been playing that. My son bought it for my grandson's birthday trip, because that is not the father of the grandson. The other twin is the father. But he knows his nephew loves to play games. So he brought that to the cabin for us to play. And we enjoyed it so much. We've played it numerous times since then. And today I want to play it. Now, we do have some very in-depth games. We have Game of Thrones, we have Scythe, we have Katana. I think that's how you say it. Let me actually find out if that's what that is. Hold on one second. It's a board game. Not cats. I can't see my screen very well, y'all. No, it's not Katana. It's Catan. Catan, I think. Yeah. Okay. I think that's the name of it. Yeah, it is, because you do hexagons, and it's a really fun game. But all of those, like the Game of Thrones, Scythe, Catan. My grandson is a very smart, intellectual 6 years old. I mean, he's leaps and bounds. He should be doing 3rd grade work right now. He just finished kindergarten. So, it's still a little bit too advanced for him to play those. So, Flip 7 is perfect. And I wouldn't mind doing some dominoes. I love to play some dominoes. I like to play, and Brantley loves Scrabble and Yahtzee too. So I might pull those out so that, you know, it can just be a fun day of hanging out with my family playing games. But I just, you know, I don't know, how can I say it? I don't know if people think I'm selfish to to want to play, or want to just stay home and hang out with my family. But, I mean, it is what it is. I know that it's going to be very enjoyable. It's going to be very relaxing. And I could use that. Because as much as I want to be like, oh, over the moon, it's my birthday, Miss Happy-Go-Lucky, I've been struggling for a few weeks. Just being kind of down on a base level. I can rise up and I can find my joy in everything. So, I need this re-energizing, recharge, because my family definitely charges me up, it's how can I say it? It is, yeah, it's definitely like getting your battery recharged. It's getting your happiness recharged. It's, it's all of those things. But, because let me tell you, the hole in my leg. Now, I do plan on starting our walks again tomorrow morning, or this morning, before you watch this. But because being in that recliner is not good for my mental health. It really is not. It gets me down, even though I can do a lot of the things that I enjoy doing while I'm in said recliner. It's just, it's a mental thing, okay? I need to be up. I need to be moving around. And I have been, but I've been having to sit down a lot more than I'm used to. So, I need my family. I need them to just come hang out with me and be unplugged. That is the biggest part. Because with it being my birthday, I can kind of say, hey, let's all be present. And that's what gets me recharged. My family interacting, enjoying themselves, having a good time. That recharges me regardless, anytime I see their happiness, But anyway, that was a long, convoluted chitty chat, wasn't it? But it is what it is. I hope y'all have a super week. I hope your Monday, or whenever you get this video, I hope it charges you for the upcoming week. I hope your Monday is not the Mondayest Mondays ever. Because we know Mondays can be that way. Well, any other day of the week can be a very Monday day, but I hope that you find some joy, that you grab a hold of it and don't let go, because it does help keep you going, like I said, when you have those down days. So, I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care of you. Bye!